Everybody, welcome back to the channel. We appreciate you being here. For the people that follow along, we appreciate you coming back. If you're new to the channel, I basically do different projects around my house. I do some mechanical work, some construction projects. I break up every other couple videos or so. I try to do talks about life and faith and family, struggles, different things going on in life, as well as good things going on. So if this is interesting to you, hang around. We appreciate you being here. Subscribe to the channel. For the people that have subscribed, I said in the last video I wanted to start doing shout outs. Few of the people that I had written down, when you go into YouTube and pull up my subscribers, I didn't even realize that my channel was set this way. But you have to deselect that your channel name is hidden if you want the person you're subscribing to see it. So some of the people that I've subscribed to over the years that I've never gotten any feedback from, I never really interacted a lot with different channels, so I didn't pay that much attention to it. But if you want me to be able to see your subscription and I can do a shout out, you just have to go in and change your settings so that I can basically that your subscription's not private. I mentioned a few people on the last video. For the other ones that I hadn't, Tom, we appreciate you being here. Eli Luckett, Eric Luckett, Sam B 726, Kelsey Riggs, Football 0828, Chad Luckett, and Braden Pennington. We appreciate you supporting the channel, and we're just glad that you're here. So basically, I wanted to, a variety of things had kind of been on my mind over the last few days, and I just kind of wanted to put out a video that was a talk. And the last several that I've done were just working, and there's so much on everyone's mind right now, I think, that it gets a little bit overwhelming. And so I've had a lot of different topics that I wanted to talk about and just really couldn't settle on any one of them. But with Easter coming up and all the stuff that's taking place throughout the country, I just kind of wanted to, more than anything, hop on and basically, tell people that we hope you have a good Easter. Try to share it in the best way that you can with your families. I think we plan on doing online service on Sunday and probably doing some FaceTime or something like that with some of our family. But this current situation's just got a lot of people out of sorts, I think, and it's hard to figure out, I think, for a lot of people what to make of it. I've kind of gone back and forth from feeling like this about it and then feeling a completely different way about it, and I know it's frustrating to people. I'm in a trade where I'm still out working. I see things. I'm out on the road from day to day. I have to go in and out of some different department stores just for materials and things like that for our jobs. So it's definitely different. I don't know how many people that watch are quarantined or stuck at home, and and of course it's different from state to state as far as what precautions are being taken in your area, but it's definitely very different. People seem to have kind of a fear aspect when you're out in different places, and it's just very strange, and I hope that we can get past this and start to move on and get back to a place where we can do well again. And I hope that it doesn't destroy our economy in doing so. Basically, with some of the videos that I've been putting out that have been different projects around the house, it's things that are concerns of ours that we're trying to work on in case the situation does change or is different. So the raised garden beds, I did a video where I was talking about us putting some food aside and getting different vegetables to be planted, learning a little bit how to can. I'm working on the tractor, which isn't a huge priority, but we probably will use it for things around the house and self-sufficiency with getting wood and different stuff like that. So it's going to be used. That's kind of where my mindset's been lately, is to make sure that we have our ducks in a row if it takes a while for this economy to turn around, or things would get worse with the stores where we couldn't get supplies and stuff. So I've just, like I said, I've had a multitude of different things on my mind. I think everybody has. You know, this coming week will be 4 months that I've stopped, or that I haven't drank at all. I've been completely sober, and that's been on my mind, and how much that's changed things for the better. You know, in most cases, it's a struggle. It's very difficult from time to time, and I tell you, going through all of the circumstances that we're going through now, as well as when I first started the channel, I'd lost my grandfather, and going through that time period without any sort of, you know, outlet, I guess, for, you know, lack of a better word, you know, that was pretty difficult to be present. But once you get through it, it's much more humbling, and it's actually much more, I feel like, empowering to know that you're in control of what's going on, and that you don't have to have something that you're leaning on to get through your life. It's been primarily much more beneficial to have stopped. So I won't harp on that too much. I had thought about doing a talk about it, and you know, I may go a little bit more in depth once I reach around a half a year. So that was one of the things that I've been thinking of talking about. The confusion of the situations going on right now had been on my mind, and I've been taking in different information from multiple sources, as probably most people have. I watch different channels on YouTube. I listen to different talk radio shows, and it's just, I think it's hard for everyone to not feel as though there's going to be some ramifications once we come through all of these mandatory shutdowns and quarantines and different situations in different places, and you know, it's destroying a lot of people's livelihoods, their businesses. So I kind of feel that way about it in a lot of senses. I understand some of the precautions that are being taken place, and on the other side of that, at what cost are we doing it? You know, and then a major concern of mine is the how it's going to be paid for, and I think that we need to start, to a degree, waking up as a country to what's taking place, and you know, being aware of what's going on, and you know, I've heard a couple different people that have speculated that once we get through this, maybe Zombie Farmer is another guy's channel that I watch, and he was talking about he could see this becoming into a mandatory vaccination, and I don't see that being too far off the mark to where they could tell us, you need to do this, or you don't get to go back out in public, you don't get to go back to your job, you don't have a choice. And that's a little concerning to me. You know, whether or not that takes place, of course no one knows, but just the push for the involvement in government and day-to-day life is concerning. You know, I think our president's done a great job up till now, which probably isn't widely popular saying that, but you know, I think it's hard for anybody to see the forest through the trees right now. But I think all we can do is you know, what's best for each individual, their families, and through this thing. So, you know, if you are struggling, if you have lost a job, you know, if you've got any number of issues at home, you know, my family and I will be keeping you in our thoughts and our prayers, and we wish the best for everyone out there. You know, especially this week coming up. You know, it's. I think I heard someone state the other day that this will be the first time in the country's history that we haven't been able to celebrate Easter, and or at least as far as a congregation or different churches. So, you know, that's a sad thing, but at the same time, I think that we can learn from it, and we can cherish it in a different way. And that's what, you know, we're kind of intending to do is, you know, I don't think anybody will forget this Easter. So, you know, I think it's key to make the best of it and to appreciate it and enjoy it. And because I've been kind of thinking about it, because there's not the hustle and bustle that there normally is, where you're running here and you're running there and you got to go to church, and you know, kids are doing Easter egg hunts and all these different things. You know, maybe it's part of God's plan to say, no, slow down and focus on what Jesus did. And that's what I intend on trying to do. And so, you know, there's so many things and so many different topics and things I could talk about, and I don't want to be on here for days and days because I can talk, but you know, I'll kind of leave it with that. And you know, like I said, I hope everyone out there is doing well. You know, we'll keep you in our thoughts and our prayers, especially, you know, government officials and people that run churches and people that run businesses, and there's healthcare workers and our first responders and so many different people that this thing, it's affecting everyone. And so, you know, I think all we can do is try to trust in the people that are put in place to make the decisions that affect us every day, and hope that their intentions are in the right place. And you know, I don't know how much stock I'll put in that, but I'm going to trust on God for the rest of it, or try to the best I can. So that's my game plan. You know, I'd spend a day and I'd get worked up about it, and then I'd kind of start to mellow out, and then I think it's hard for everybody not to get worked up about it right now. And I was going to do almost an entirely different video, and I went inside, and my wife actually is a teacher, and so she's had to do online e-learning sessions, and she had my daughter at the end of the video when I went inside, and they were getting ready to pray on the video for her kids in her class. And it totally changed my mindset of the way that I was going to approach the video. And I think that's what a lot of people need to remember. It's slow down, think about your faith, think about where God wants us to be, because I was worked up about it, and I thought, this isn't where God wants me to be right now, because getting worked up about stuff isn't going to fix anything for anyone. It's not going to fix anything for me. It's not going to make my day easier. It's not going to make anybody around me, you know, their life any easier either. So I'm just going to try to slow down, pray about things, try to have as best of Easter as we can, and see where we're at when we come through the end of this whole ordeal. So it's a little different video. If this is your first time to the channel, you can check out the other ones and kind of look at the different videos of working on some stuff. This is just part of how I wanted to build the channel. Truth and honesty and some discussion and also some work and just different aspects of life. That's kind of how I am. That's kind of what I like. So, you know, like I said, if this is your first video, we appreciate you being here. Stick around. I try to put up different stuff all the time. So, other than that, thanks for being here. Thanks for your support. We'll keep you and your families in our thoughts and our prayers. We hope you have a great Easter and take care.